A very good afternoon and warm welcome to all our viewers. On behalf of Human Biological Institute and Fearless Against Rabies. Fearless Against Rabies is an initiative by Human Biological Institute to educate about rabies and to reduce the incidence of disease. It's my pleasure to take this opportunity and share about Human Biological Institute. Human Biological Institute, a division of Indian Immunologicals Limited, shaping global healthcare by spearheading the One Health Initiative. One Health Initiative talks about the optimum health of animals, people, and the environment. Indian Immunological Limited was established by the National Dairy Development Board (NDTB) in 1982 as its unit and later registered as a company in 1999 with the name Indian Immunologicals Limited. Human Biological Institute was established in the year 1998 when the Government of India requested Indian Immunologicals Limited to produce a modern tissue culture anti-rabies vaccine to phase out the unsafe nerve tissue vaccine. The first manufacturing facility of Human Biological Institute was established at Ooty. The facility is one of its kind in India to have rolled out first virocell culture rabies vaccine in 2000. Subsequently, Human Biological Institute launched other vaccines and currently we are the major player in human vaccines. We are the leader in anti-rabies vaccine segment and present in around 60 countries. We are three state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities at Ooty, Gachibowli and Karkapatla, also known as Genome Valley. Human Biological Institute has forayed into the market of clinically proven wellness products and infertility ranges of hormones. Coming to our vision, mission, and values, our vision is shaping global healthcare by spearheading the One Health initiative. Our mission is to innovate, produce, and market quality healthcare products and services to improve and extend lives. Our values, we believe in providing affordable products with high quality through continuous technical innovations and improvements to meet our customers' needs. As we know, we are the kind of company who will definitely look after taking care of environment as well. We proudly bring before you the Green Initiative, as we have launched our flagship brand anti-rabies vaccine, Abhairab, and with this, we have taken significant step to reduce the plastic burden by 160 ton per annum. As a company, we don't just manufacture and market products, but Human Biological Institute has done a lot in corporate social responsibility and has taken up various projects. One such project is adoption of government school. Indian Immunological Limited has adopted two government schools in the vicinity of its Karkapatla facility in Hyderabad. Another program is Gift Milk Program in coordination with National Dairy Development Board. We are giving additional nutritional supplement to over 1600 school-going children of Telangana and Tamil Nadu. We have also facilitated the setup of oxygen generation plant at Telangana Institute of Medical Sciences, Gachibowli. The unique advantage of this oxygen plant is that it is capable of supplying oxygen to 70 patients at a time. You can visit us on our website www.indieimmune.com. You can contact us on our toll-free number 1800-313-999977. You can follow us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, you can go through our unique initiative on fight against rabies at www.fearlessagainstrabies.com and everything you want to know about women health on www.puberty2menopause.com. So once again, I welcome all our viewers who have joined us live today on Fearless Against Rabies platform. Rabies is a viral disease that affects the central nervous system and is transmitted through the saliva of infected animal. Well, in today's session, we are going to learn about the topic first aid for animal bites and scratch. To enlighten us about this topic, we have a special guest with us today. Please welcome Dr. Mohit Podar. Dr. Mohit Podar is a highly accomplished medical professional with extensive expertise in pediatric care, allergies, and clinical immunology. With an impressive educational background, he holds an MD specialization and has completed a fellowship in allergy and clinical immunology. Dr. Podar currently serves as a consultant at Podar Hospital, a renowned healthcare facility known for its exceptional patient care and comprehensive medical services. Additionally, he is also a consultant allergist at MediHub Multi-Speciality Center, contributing his skills to provide specialized care to patients with allergies and related conditions. With his wealth of knowledge and experience, Dr. Prodar previously served as an assistant professor at SMS Medical College in Jaipur, where he played an integral role in training and mentoring future healthcare professionals. Dr. Mohit Podar's dedication to improving the health and well-being of his patient, coupled with his extensive qualification, make him a respected and sought-after specialist in field of pediatric medicine, allergies, and clinical immunology. A very warm welcome, Dr. Mohit, on our Fearless Against Rabies platform.
Good afternoon, Dipali. Many thanks to you and the organizers for inviting me for this. Uh,
Doctor, while we start for our discussion for today, I would request you to kindly explain our viewers in a very simpler terms that what rabies is and how it can be transmitted to humans.
See, uh, I'll be using few words of Hindi also,
Yes.
being our matrabhasha, while explaining about rabies. Rabies is basically a viral disease. This is one of those kind of viral disease for which we don't have treatment up till now. So we all have to keep it in mind कि when the rabies or whenever we get in contact with rabies, the prevention is the only way out of the whole thing. It is basically transmitted from any kind of lick or bite by a rabid animal. Majorly, it is transmitted through mammals only, and if the bite is quite deep, then the chances of rabies are more. Simultaneously, if we have some scratches or we have some abrasions on the skin and the animal licks on it, then also there are chances of developing rabies. Also, we have to remember that many a times we take it very lightly कि नहीं अभी तो जानवर ने एक scratch ही किया था, scratch में क्या होगा. But no, in today's scenario, as the science is progressing, we have seen incidences of a person becoming rabbit positive by just a mere scratch also. So we should be careful with that. And the proper prevention for avoidance of rabies is necessary. What happens in rabies is basically this is a virus which attacks the nervous system. And once it goes to the nerves, subsequently, wahan se it reaches the brain and ultimately from brain it leads to a fatal cause or death permanently. So what we need to keep in mind is that if there is any kind of contact with an animal whom we are not following since a long time, then we should be very careful with them. In fact, what I'll say in this particular scenario is that we should be careful with our own pet animals also, because it's a misconception that we see कि हमारा पेट तो बाहर निकलता ही नहीं है घर से, उसको कैसे रेबीज हो सकता है. No, it's not like that. We do develop, these pets do develop rabies living inside also. So this is something where we have to be very careful. uh, बड़े आराम से प्रिवेंट करने वाली डिजीज है जिसको थोड़ा अपन ध्यान रखें, थोड़ा केयरफुल रहें तो अपन प्रिवेंट कर सकते हैं. एंड अल्टीमेटली प्रिवेंशन, क्योंकि अपने पास एक ही रास्ता है, तो वी ऑल नीड टू बी केयरफुल फॉर इट.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर. डॉक्टर, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन मैं ये पूछना चाहती हूँ कि आर देयर एनी रिस्क फैक्टर्स फॉर कॉन्ट्रैक्टिंग द रेबीज डिजीज?
The risk factors, as I told earlier, are exposure to animals. Animals could be wild animals, अपन कहीं बाहर गए वहाँ पे कोई वाइल्ड एनिमल से हुआ, और एक्सपोजर टू द पेट. मेजॉरिटी ऑफ केसेस में रेबीज जहाँ पे नाम आता है वहाँ पे एक डॉग का फोटो आ जाता है साथ में. Why it is so? Because 99% of the rabies has found to be occurring due to a dog bite. So what we need to remember here is that अगर कोई bite है from any animal, may it not be dog, then also we have to be careful. One hidden aspect which I like to share out here is that cats are more susceptible to develop rabies compared to dogs. So we should be careful in such kind of scenarios also. Then any kind of healthcare workers like the veterinary workers or any persons who are working in the healthcare system where the serum is involved or a blood product is involved, may it be in labs or all, there also I'll advise ki they should always take a prophylactic vaccine so that they remain careful and they avoid the contact of rabies directly.
Thank you, doctor. Doctor, the next question I want to ask you is, are there any kind of typical symptoms that the individual might experience if they have contacted rabies?
See, as I told that this is a viral infection, so primarily the infection के जो symptoms होते हैं, they are all flu-like symptoms. We'll have weakness, fatigue, tiredness, headache. Along with that, we will have itching at the bite site at times. And followed by that, as the virus reaches the nervous system, the person starts developing anxiety, confusion, agitation, and ultimately cerebral dysfunction leading to fear of water, fear of open spaces, even fear of light and air, and these kind of symptoms starts developing in there.
Uh,
So
yes,
to
doctor.
uh, means many a times with rabies we usually get confused कि नहीं ये weakness fatigue जो है ये किसी और वजह से था या मैं भागा था वहां से fight I was fighting the animal, that's why I'm tired. But be careful that if there has been a subtle exposure, then prevention is must in these cases.
Well, doctor, as you mentioned, ki prevention is must in these cases. So at that time, I want to ask you, तो इस time पे recommended course of treatment क्या रहेगा for someone who potentially has been exposed to the virus?
If a person has been exposed, the first and foremost is cleaning of the wound. The wound should be cleaned with proper aseptic precautions. And then human rabies immunoglobulin is one gold standard जो वहाँ पे wound पे if it's a bite wound and a deep bite wound then it should be inoculated at the site of bite. And then we have anti-rabies vaccine which is given at, at the day of the bite and then subsequently in 4 to 5 doses on day 3, day 7, day 21 and all. सो द मेजर कोर्स में अपने पास में सिर्फ 3 स्टेप्स हैं. वन इज वुंड केयर और क्लीनिंग ऑफ द वुंड एट दैट डे. इफ द वुंड इज क्वाइट बैड, सूचर में नॉट बी नेसेसरी. जहां तक सूचर अवॉइड कर सकें वहां तक सूचर अवॉइड करना चाहिए इस केस में. सेकेंडली, if we have immunoglobulins available, they are gold standard and they should be used there and they should be inoculated at the site पे अच्छे से deep inoculation में देना चाहिए उसको. And third is the vaccine for the same.
Thank you, doctor. You mentioned about this term immunoglobulin. Doctor, we all have heard this term, but it will be very helpful, doctor, if you can tell our audience that what is immunoglobulin again, sir.
Let me explain immunoglobulin with a short example. Suppose Ms. Dipali is now planning for a web telecast. So for web telecast, she has planned, but she does not have a team ready. What you will do, you will call some persons who are trained in web telecast. They will come and they will train the people around you, and simultaneously your people will be trained for the subsequent web telecast. बट उस मोमेंट पे जो बंदे आए और जिन्होंने वो वाली वेब टेलीकास्ट करी और उसको ट्रेनिंग करी, दे दो दोज आर द पीपल हु कैन बी टर्म्ड एज इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन हेयर. सो इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन अपने आप में क्या है? दे आर द एंटीबॉडीज. They are the ready-made antibodies which, when inoculated, fights the rabies virus directly at the site. वहीं की वहीं वो फाइट करना चालू करती है. एंड साइमल्टेनियसली जब अपन वैक्सीन देते हैं तो वैक्सीन से और इम्यूनोग्लोबिन अपने बॉडी के अंदर और एंटीबॉडीज अपनी बॉडी के अंदर प्रोड्यूस होती हैं और वो एंटीबॉडीज फिर आगे की फाइट करती हैं. सो immunoglobulins have a mainstay as they are the ready-made fighters for the rabies at that particular site.
Thank you, doctor, for explaining this immunoglobulin in a very simpler term. डॉक्टर, आपने जैसे बताया इम्यूनोग्लोबिन के बारे में एंड ऑल्सो द एंटी रेबीज वैक्सीन, तो इनका कोई आर देयर एनी पोटेंशियल साइड इफेक्ट्स ऑफ इम्यूनोग्लोबिन और एंटी रेबीज वैक्सीन?
Usually, we don't see much of these side effects, but yes, many a times immunoglobulin does have some side effects on the very first dose, or by chance, if you change the immunoglobulin to another brand on the second dose. The most common ones are headache, chills, fever, or some flushing, and something like flu like symptoms like muscle pain, feeling tired, nausea, vomiting, or sometimes rash also. So these are certain, again, we flu-like symptoms which are seen at times by taking the immunoglobulins.
Thank you, doctor. Doctor, there are a lot of myths and facts and also misconceptions. So, can you please tell our viewers that what are the some common misconception about rabies and how can, as a healthcare provider, you can help us to dispel them?
Like I mentioned earlier also, one of the very common misconception is that my pet is totally indoor, he cannot get rabies. So forget about this, friends. Pet who is totally indoor can also develop rabies. So you should be careful if there is any scratch or there. In fact, if you are catering a pet at home or at your work site, I will advise that you always go forward with the pre-exposure prophylaxis vaccine schedule for yourself. It is usually a 3 dose schedule and it works good for 3 years or more. आप आराम से वो ले सकते हैं and you will be stress free with that. सेकेंडली विच आई सेड अर्लियर कि सिर्फ डॉग से ही रेबीज होता है ऐसा नहीं है दो 99% ऑफ द केसेस हैव बीन रिपोर्टेड बाय डॉग but cats are more prone to develop rabies compared to dogs. So if you have a cat at home, be careful with that also. Then there are certain things like animal bite are not always rabies. What I want to clear out here is कि जरूरी नहीं है कि हर बार एनिमल ने काटा तो रेबीज होगा.
Okay.
दिस इज ट्रू, बट उसको दूसरे तरीके से लेते हैं लोग. कैसे? मेरे को डॉग ने काटा, मेरे को कुछ नहीं हुआ और मैंने मेरे फ्रेंड को बोला देख मैंने वैक्सीन भी नहीं ली थी, कुछ नहीं हुआ ना. नो,
Yes.
दिस इज रॉन्ग. द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट इफ एनीथिंग वुड हैव हैपेंड तो मेरे पास कोई और तरीका नहीं था बचने के लिए. सो आई शुड बी केयरफुल विद दिस थिंग कि दूसरे की देखी दिखाई पे अपने को नहीं चलना. दो ऑल एनिमल बाइट्स आर नॉट रेबीज, बट yes, since we are not very clear about it, since we do not have very good test for that particular day जब बाइट होता है, so it is always safer that we go forward with immunoglobulins and vaccines at that time. ठीक है. देन अ सेकेंड थिंग कम्स अप इज कि मेरे को जिसने काटा वो कुत्ता तो एकदम ठीक है, उसको कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है, एकदम ठीक लग रहा है, सब कुछ बढ़िया है. Please, friends, remember this thing that normally the incubation period of rabies vaccine, मतलब वो rabies virus, कि वायरस अगर एक डॉग के अंदर गया है तो उसे 2 से 3 महीने लगते हैं अपना असर दिखाने में. आई एग्री कि कई बार 1 वीक में भी दिखा देता है और कई बार 1 साल तक भी नहीं दिखाता है. So be careful that a dog who is not showing any symptoms at this moment, he may be infected with rabies and you cannot take chance out here. तो आपको उसमें केयरफुल रहना है हमेशा. साइमल्टेनियसली कईयों को ये है कि ये वैक्सीन जो है ये तो जब काटेगा तब देखेंगे तभी लगानी है. नो, एज आई टोल्ड अर्लियर कि when you have pet or you have exposure to animals, then you can always go for a pre-exposure vaccine or pre-exposure prophylaxis to avoid rabies in future. देन एक कंसेप्ट जो इसमें आता है जिसमें एक बड़ा कंफ्यूजन रहता है, लोगों को रहता है कि अगर कुछ होना है तो अभी होएगा ना, अभी काटा है तो अभी के अभी सिम्टम आना चाहिए. इट्स नॉट ट्रू. एज आई टोल्ड कि डॉग में भी कई बार इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड लंबा होता है. सिमिलरली इन ह्यूमंस आल्सो द इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड मे बी लॉन्ग. सो वी कैन नॉट बी श्योर विद द होल थिंग कि नहीं 10 डेज में अगर कुछ नहीं हुआ तो आगे कुछ नहीं होगा. ये दैट थिंग वॉज द पास्ट. Forget about it. 10 days वाला concept does not work now. The whole concept is कि अगर अपने को कहीं भी किसी एनिमल ने बाइट किया है, we should get vaccinated and eliminate rabies there and then. Then एक जो कंसेप्ट जो मैंने पहले भी बोला है, मेनी अ टाइम्स पीपल थिंक कि सिंपल बाइट से ही होगा रेबीज, बाइट के अलावा स्क्रैचिंग या उनसे नहीं होगा। प्लीज माय फ्रेंड्स रिमेंबर, अपन लोग के चलते फिरते भी अपन लोग कई बार कहाँ टच कर जाते हैं और कहाँ से अपने को कोई स्क्रैच लग रहा है, कोई एब्रेजन लग रहा है, वी नेवर नो। इनफैक्ट a simple paper like this can also lead to a scratch here with many a times when the paper is sharp enough. तो अपने को कब कहाँ किस चीज से कब एब्रेजन आ रहा है, कोई स्क्रैच आ रहा है, वी डोंट नो। एंड अ लिकिंग ऑफ अ एनिमल ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर स्क्रैच can lead to exposure to rabies if the animal is infected in any way. So please remember these certain things. If we remember these and we take it carefully, then this will help us in controlling rabies at all.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you once again, Doctor, for giving us a lot of information on today's topic. Doctor, it's time to take some questions from our viewers.
Sure.
We do have received some internal questions, Doctor. So the so the first question is, how should the wound be cleaned and disinfected to prevent infection?
The best way to clean the wound is by simply washing it with water. सी इट डिपेंड्स कि आप उस मोमेंट ऑफ टाइम पे कहाँ हैं। इफ़ यू आर इन द वाइल्ड, इफ़ यू आर एट प्लेस वेयर proper antiseptics are not available with you, simply washing it with water and later on washing it with soap and water. First with water, then with soap and water will work very good for you. If you have any available antiseptic along with you, then washing the wound with that antiseptic will also help a lot out here. And subsequently, I'll say that whenever there is a bite, then simultaneous inoculation of tetanus toxoid vaccine will also help you out.
Thank you, Doctor. There's another question asking, are there specific type of animal bites or scratches that require immediate medical attention?
Usually, any kind of animal जो mammal है, that's a parturiting animal, should be taken into consideration. Rabies is majorly taken is a disease of mammals. We should remember that bat is one of the mammals only in a mammal with the aerial form, and otherwise जितने mammals हैं उनसे अगर अपने को bite हो रहा है तो it should always be taken with a pinch of salt and we should consider rabies out here.
Thank you, Doctor. There's another question asking, is it necessary to receive a tetanus shot after an animal bite or scratch?
I think I've cleared it out here.
Yes, you have already answered. Thank you, sir. The another question is, are there any over-the-counter treatments that can be used for minor animal bites or scratches?
Usually, the over-the-counter treatment just stands for cleaning the wound with the antiseptic and all. And further ahead for the vaccine and all, these days, with the initiative of Government of India, the vaccines are available at very small PHCs also. And it has been my personal experience that one of my friends' kid was bitten by a monkey while we were in a wildlife sanctuary, and we were able to get the anti-rabies vaccine within 5 kilometers from there at a very small PHC where I was not expecting it. So the government is also taking care of this well. So don't hesitate on going to a health facility near you and asking for the anti-rabies vaccine out there.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. There's another question asking, what are the main ways in which children can contract rabies?
The major ways of children contracting rabies is while playing with the pets. Children are quite notorious at times, and in fact, the pets, they love to play with pets, and even our pets will also love to play with the children. So many a times, putting their fingers in the mouth of the pet, or having some physical subtle fight sort of things with the pets may lead to certain scenarios where the pet will try to grab the child, and this can lead to good exposure to the children.
Thank you, doctor. There's a last question asking, why does rabies cause fear of water?
Why does rabies cause fear of water? This is a good question. Um, Frankly speaking, if you ask me, and if I go a bit on the out of the box thinking, then rabies is basically a virus which affects the nervous system. On nervous system, when it affects the nervous system, it gradually reaches the brain and causes a cerebral dysfunction. Due to this dysfunction, there is fear of water. It is not necessary that all the patients will have fear of water, but yes, due to this agitation, confusion, anxiety, and the which is all due to the this cerebral dysfunction, fear of water, fear of light, and all, they come up.
Thank you so much, doctor, for answering all the audience questions. Doctor, in the end, I want to ask you: is there what could be the most crucial information about the rabies disease that the general public should be aware of?
I'll just like to put it into a six phase phenomena as a take home messages for you. First is that rabies is a fatal viral disease, and there is no treatment after the symptoms have appeared. It's so always be careful with it. Don't take animal bite or scratch casually. Pet animals can have rabies, and cats are more prone to dogs than dogs. Then anti-rabies immunoglobulin and rabies vaccine are the only preventive measures available till date. So don't hesitate in taking them. They are for you. Now the government is also quite active. Indian Immunological is also working. Other companies have also started working well on this, on the whole scenario, and the things are quite easily available all around, even at peripheries also. So don't hesitate in taking the vaccine and the immunoglobulins. Fourth and very important thing is always complete the dosage. Don't think कि नहीं दो हो गई अभी तक कुछ नहीं हुआ आगे नहीं होगा. It's not like that. इसको इस तरह से समझ लीजिए सर दैट इफ यू आर काउंटिंग अ पाइल ऑफ नोट्स, तो वो 100 हैं कि नहीं है वो लास्ट में ही पता लगेगा आपको. आप अगर शुरू में सोचोगे कि नहीं 20 तक ठीक है तो आगे भी पूरा 100 होगा, तो इट्स रॉन्ग. सो ऑलवेज टेक complete vaccination. Don't leave it in between. Don't wait for symptoms to appear in dog and humans. Immediate action is necessary. And lastly, all those who are at potential risk, whether they are keeping pets, whether they are healthcare workers, or whether they are veterinary doctors, or whether they are veterinary healthcare workers, should always go with prophylactic dose or the pre-exposure prophylaxis for rabies.
Thank you so much, doctor. Doctor, there's one question which has popped up. Mr. Manoj is asking, doctor, if wound is small and as per body weight, the volume of rabies immunoglobulin is more and it is not possible to infiltrate around the wound, can we inject remaining volume of rabies immunoglobulin at injection site?
Yeah, usually what is done is that once we have covered the wound completely, the remaining immunoglobulin which is left is given at a IM deltoid site, and so that the person has the complete antibody for that particular rabies exposure.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for answering all the questions. Doctor, thank you once again. And it was a wonderful session. We wholeheartedly thank you, Doctor, on behalf of my team as well as the Human Biological Institute for sparing your most valuable time with us. And I know a lot of people who are watching us are benefited from this wonderful session. Thank you. Thank you so much, Doctor. I wholeheartedly thank our viewers as well for being with us in each and every session.
Thanks a lot, Dipali. It was really nice talking to you all on the this matter of rabies, as this is a matter of good concern, and we many a times overlook it. So we have learned that health is one important issue, as we have gone through a difficult phase of COVID in India, and we have learned the importance of our health. So I think people will understand the importance of rabies also, and will take the care about it so that we have a rabies-free India. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Doctor. Uh, I wholeheartedly thank our viewers as well for being with us. Well, you can all follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter to get more updates on live talk with expert doctor across the nation. With that, I wish everyone a very good afternoon. Thank you once again, Doctor.